Joe Crowley in News Department. Been retired for a while. Went from TIC to the Hartford PR and then State Police. And then to General Hospital PR. I'm not doing much of anything right now, to be honest with you. Just enjoying my retirement. Liz is still working. Thank God. Marry a nurse. And yes, I'm still a cop at heart.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody here?
No, okay.
Oh,
Paul is Paul Hayes.
Paul Hayes. Bobby, why don't you start?
All right. Bob Schlenker. I started at TIC in '68. Basically, shipping room, mail room, gopher. In November of this same year, I moved to the film department, worked in production, commercials and stuff like that, and then went on to film editing, editing news, left in '79 and went to ESPN. Worked at ESPN for just about a year, and then I went to ABC in New York, 21 years, finishing my career working on 2020 for 19 of the 21 years. And now, retired, and all I do is weed whack and cut grass.
I started at TIC at 62 in the film department and went to the floor crew and was there for 38 years. 3 managements, Travelers, Post Newsweek, and Meredith. And then I retired and I'm not doing anything.
You have to show your t-shirt.
Oh yeah. Probably no one remembers.
Marlo
and the Magic
That was a program that was on in 96 markets in America. Every CBS affiliate. We ran for how many years?
I think it was 3.
About 3 years. It was nominated for an Emmy every year it was on, and many of our people, including me, I'm honored to say that nominated for an Emmy for it. We always got beat out by Bob Keeshan. So I have a thing about Cactus. But it was a great show.
You want to say anything else?
No.
So now you know about Bob Keeshan. Okay, Doug?
Well, I've managed to make a lot of these reunions, mostly from the West Coast in the past years, but about a year and a half ago I moved back to the Pittsburgh area and joined up with my old college sweetheart. We hadn't seen each other for about 50 years, but we reconnected and finally...
She did the 50 years better than you did.
She did. And so last March, Robin flew out to California. We got a rental truck and drove all the way back cross country with my stuff. And we're still trying to find places for my stuff. But it's been really good. It's been wonderful to reunite. It's been a good life. And Robin's sister lives up here in the Hartford area, so coming up here for a reunion makes it a nice kind of a double bill. And it's good to see so many old friends up here and revive so many good memories of working at TIC.
Thanks, Doug. Jim?
Well, I came to TIC in '68 also, and been retired now for 8 years from broadcasting. A little internet show still once in a while, but just had my 80th birthday with my wife giving me a very big present. All the kids came in from the West Coast and from wherever they were, so we had a good celebration on May 5th. And I can just, look around the room and think, first of all, Dave, you do such a terrific job on this. We're so lucky to have you. I've mentioned this a couple of times to people, and they just look and really, you guys get together after all these years? And it must be special. And they're absolutely right. Well, looking around, seeing the people, James and Larry, one of the first times I did a reporting for Beside You, in one of the studios for I think it was some kind of election. And I was scared to death because you were telling me exactly what to do, when to say, what to say. I still thank you for that. But it's wonderful to be here and to see everybody again, and I hope that we can all be here again and make the next one, improve it. Thank you.
Surprise! I'm Ken Bennett. I was there 69, 70. But Dave, I need you. Are you focused on me?
Yes.
And if you come here, then you're in the picture?
That,
and you're focused.
well, then the camera breaks, so
I don't
focused
think
anymore.
so. And it's a small thing, but I'm like Jim and so many of us. We really appreciate what Dave does. He keeps saying, you know, it wouldn't be anything if you didn't come and this and that. And I was thinking of something, just a small token, but I'm finding out from my college students that they don't have an idea what on earth this thing is. So I want to give you what I now consider a collectible.
Okay.
This is a Sony FM AM 2-band pocket radio. Transistors. And I even got you the batteries.
Maybe there's a career in radio.
Well, it's, you know, I tell people when the power goes out and your cell phones go off and you don't have a computer, you can get news, weather, and information as long as you have fresh batteries. So again, it's just a small token, but you mean so much to us. And I hope you never need this in a blizzard or a hurricane, but you probably will. Thank you. Just thank you so much for everybody that comes here. Every time we have a reunion, I learn things, and I share things, and I remember things. And as I've said to, where is he? Bill over there, I would come here if it was just 2 or 3 of us in the men's room. Or the women's room. It's certainly not numbers that matter, it's the people. And you folks are just one of the greatest families I've ever had.
That's right. My wife reminds me that I was here 2 years ago, so I needn't be doing this. It's fun to hear all the reminiscences. Many of the folks here I never met, never worked with, but did for a period of time with some of you. Meanwhile, time marches on. As an example, my wife has heard this story, I'm afraid, too many times, but a while back I was in a golf shop, excuse me, buying myself a birthday gift, and the fellow there had some tattoos, and I admired them, and he said, "Oh, I'm not supposed to show these. Why do you ask?" I said, "Well, I got a tattoo when I was 82. And he looked at me and he said, "How the hell old are you now?"
I can get up too, but well, I came to TIC in 1957. I beat a few of you out. And my first boss was Bernard Bowen. But he was great to work for. He was with me, everything was fine. And then it was Paul Lucas, who we worked with, and Mr. Moriarty, Dick Hollis, and I did that Ranger Andy show, sending out all the tickets, and I've told that ticket story too many times, where I sent out, I don't know, 3 times the amount, and they all showed up, and we didn't tell Andy because he'd get too upset. Until he opened the door, and how we started, and look who's coming down the trail. Well, they just kept coming. And coming. But the best part of my time at TIC was meeting my husband, John Green.
It worked out nicely.
It did. I had a happy ending. And John.
Well, the happy end. Actually, she started first in radio in 1957.
That's right.
And I came in 1961 to work in radio, and then advanced to the TV side and worked with all these great engineers, Dick Osher and the Dawsons and Gracie Allen, all those great people that, and Tori, and of course, and we lost a wonderful guy this year, which was Art Mastay at the Transmitter site. They all helped keep the station on the air for me. It was just a great experience, and we're so happy to have Dave continuing on the nice work of this alumni and keeping these memories going for us. I worked there until '89, retired from the radio and TV side. And Travelers asked me back again, and went back and worked for them until 2004. So I had a total of about 43 years in this crazy business. But we enjoyed it because of all of you that we worked with, made it so great for us. This reunion has been just a great handful of memories for us all, and we hope that we can continue it going until we fall apart someday. But we want to mention one thing. Patty and I were involved in the flower setting for these tables, and these flowers here, when you leave, we've decided that whoever's birthday is closest to today's date, right, would get the flower, and you won the flower for the day, right?
You don't have to tell how old you are.
Won't say it, Richard. But there seems to be one missing.
No, we're here.
We moved it, it's right here.
Okay,
It's already
so somebody
installed.
please take it. And then Dave has got something going on here too.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll talk last after everybody else is done.
But great to be with everybody, and we hope that we can continue this going.
Good, thank you. We're going to call on Dick next, but who else from this table was actually with TIC? Okay. Okay, very good, too. Dick, turn around, Dick, so we can get a picture of you.
Oh, yeah, jeez, that's what you did. I was gonna get to the hairdresser. but-
Yeah, well.
Where's the camera? Over here.
Right here.
Okay, how's that?
Beautiful.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm all set. All right, that's it. I grew up in the Stamford area, listened to WSTC, and the station before that, which Dick admitted to working at. And wound up getting into television at what is it now? Cincinnati, Ohio, WLWT. And what happened is I sent out resumes. Well, first of all, I got to tell you a quick story. I drove out to LWT. I got there and I called back to tell my girlfriend, this young lady here, Bernice, that I got there safely. And first thing out of her mouth was, "We're getting married." And I never said yes, I never said no. I went back to my room where I had a roommate that went out there with me. And he said, "What happened to you?" And I said, "Why, what's wrong?" He says, "You're Snow White." I said, "Well, Bernice said we were getting married." He said, "Well, what did you say?" I said, "I didn't say anything." He says, "You're in trouble." So anyway, that was the beginning of a romance that carried on. I stayed there for the summer and sent out applications all over the Northeast, and I got a 6-page application from WTIC. And so I filled out the first 4 pages, threw the thing at the desk, and forgot about it. I was doing a radio show, and I got a call from Al Jackson, and he said, "You put in a resume for a job, we have an opening, you never sent back your application." He said, "Get it in and come in for an interview." So I went home, did the last 2 pages, sent it, and came for an interview. And so the story was, when I got here, the starting salary was $90, I think. So I'm walking down the hallway with Al Jackson. He said, "We can only pay you $85. I'm thinking, well, geez, I'm going to get married, and I'll go with that. So we get into the meeting with Walter Johnson and the big guy there. So they never asked me any questions about me. All they were interested in is the television station I came to, because they were new in the business, they didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
And so, anyway, they said, we finally got down to money, and they said, we can only pay you $80. So I said, when I left Cincinnati, I was getting 90. I walked down the hall with Jackson, I lost $5, and I come in here, it's only $80. I said, I can't afford it. And so I think I'll go back to WOW. They said, wait a minute. So they sent me out of the room, and they conversed for a while, and I came back. Okay, we'll start you at 85, 90 days you get to 90. So anyway, that was the beginning of a 40-year career. I actually worked for WTIC and then WLWT. No, the station, I know that loses track there. Worked for Channel 3, and post-Newsweek came in, which was a big change from the way TIC. TIC was a business, they serviced the community. The new guys, they were out to make money, and one of the saddest things was, I think it was in 1974 when they had the coup. And a lot of people that were in this room left. And I'll tell you, it was kind of sad to see that happen. And anyway, we got new guys that came in and like carried on. And it worked out well. I worked for a lot of good guys, Steve Myers, John Reno, and wound up, when I was hired, I was the last of 14 guys hired in the engineering department. And I actually left in February of 1997. I loved every minute. There were some times when I got to work, I wanted to go home right away, but it all worked out well. And I'm very proud to say that I've been associated with a lot of good people here, and that's why I'm here today. And I'm glad my wife proposed to me.